Hello, my fellow Alaskans. Welcome to the Politadick Election Central. We're going to give you an update about the national elections with President Trump and Joe Biden. And at the moment, we're also going to take and give you the latest updates for our Alaska elections. I am going to make this a very short, sweet, and unapologetic video. All right, if we want to take a look at what's going on nationally, we got Joe Biden, we got President Trump going neck to neck all day long. Mainstream media is saying it's going to be a landslide for Joe Biden. He's going to walk away with this election. He has it all wrapped up. If you just caught the video I just shared here just a minute ago before this of President Trump giving his unofficial, official, congratulatory I won the election speech that he just did. It was wonderful. It was very short. It was gracious. It was very nice to see. Earlier today, Joe Biden came out and gave his unofficial, unapologetic, this race isn't over. We're going to count every single one of those mail-in absentee ballots and all of those that voted from their graves and make sure those ballots get counted before I declare President Trump a winner. Make no mistake. This is not going to be something that's going to be decided here in the next week, in the next 2 weeks, next 3 weeks, next 4 weeks. This is going to go, I'm willing to put money down on this right now, that this is going to be one race that is going to go all the way to the Supreme Court to make the decision who is going to be the next president of the United States. I'll put my bottom dollar on it that that is the only direction that it's going. Riots, violent protests are going on right now throughout many of the lower 48 states. Washington, D.C. and several other of them started while people were still casting their votes. They have been going on all day long. These are not peaceful protests. When you're watching people that I'm seeing in the live streams I'm seeing wearing riot gear, and I'm not talking the police officers that are out there. This is the protesters. That's not how you protest in riot gear. That means you're going there to cause problems. There's no denying about what's about ready to happen. The unofficial victory win for President Trump. He has 290 of the electoral votes, and ex-Vice President Joe Biden has 225. So if we're to basically look at what is going on right now, that's roughly about what there are out there for electoral votes yet to go on. So whether or not who wins, how it's going to boil down, it's only down to the last nitty-gritty of where that is going to fall in at. The only real contested one I'm hearing out there right now is for Arizona. And that one is showing going to Biden. Whether that stays that way is hard to say. It can go to Biden as it's showing right now. And President Trump is still our president for the next 4 years. Woo! Victory! All right, enough about our national elections and President Trump and Joe Biden. Let's get back to our ones that we have here happening locally. Going to refresh my page so I have the latest and greatest of results for us all out there. I will be declaring many of these races as being final. I will give updates on whatever I find tomorrow that may differ from what I'm going to tell you tonight. But I'm pretty sure these are going to be the official results for when I say they're final. These are final races. It doesn't matter that we have 120,000 plus absentee ballots yet to be counted or early voting. Now, mind you, if you early voted and it was not classified as an early voting location, your vote did not get counted tonight. There was 90% of the early voting places out there do not get counted tonight. So out of those 120,000 mail-in early votes, there's a hell of a lot of them out there that are not going to be in tonight's totals. But some of these that I've already seen for results for our Alaska elections, they got landslide victories. There is no possible way the candidate that is running against them has any chance in a snowball's hell of winning these elections with the absentee ballots coming in. All right, let's go ahead and click on to the ballot that shows here. and we'll give the unofficial results. Joe Biden has 35% of our Alaskan votes, and President Donald J. Trump, he has 60% of Alaskans have voted for him. 114,000 possible votes, 114,000 votes have been casted at this point out of a possible 195,000 that could have casted a vote today. Mind you, I did say there's 120 more thousand yet there to go out there. But I'm going to give this one to President Trump. Alaska has our 3 electoral votes going to him. Senate race. We got Al Gross, who is sitting with 34% of the vote. And we have Dan Sullivan sitting with 60% of the vote. So now, mind you, what we're seeing happening with the president is happening in our Senate races also, and it's also happening in our House of Representatives seat, which I'll get to next. But currently at this moment, Dan Sullivan is outpacing Al Gross. I think I killed a bear by double digits. He has double the vote. He is walking away. I'm going to call this race for Dan Sullivan right here and now. It's pretty much a confirmed deal. There is no way Al Gross has a snowball chance in hell of winning this race. Up to the next one. House of Representatives, we've got Elise Galvin, or Alice, depending on what circle you run in, and Don Young. Elise Galvin has gained a whopping 38.82% of the vote. And just like we had seen with the Senate races, these numbers are identical. Ironically, you can guess who voted for who when they filled out their ballots. And we got Don Young sitting with over 60% of the vote right now. I'm going to call this one a confirmed race. Don Young has this. Don Young is going to win this without a shadow of a doubt. So Don Young, Dan Sullivan, President Trump. Those are our top 3 that we had to worry about out there for a national level. We locked them in for Alaska. All right, Senate District B. We've got Evans, Myers, and Sanford. This one was no surprise to me. Early results that were coming in, there is 9 out of 12 precincts that have reported on this race. Currently, Robert Myers has 5,200 votes, and Marina Stanford has 2,925. This one is close enough, just going by what I'm seeing, the numbers right now. Robert Myers is going to walk away with this one with a landslide. He was fighting in a very tough district. He has taken an incumbent completely out of the race this year that was a PFD steal and thief. Marina Stanford, who he is running up against, is exactly the same way. So I'm really glad to see that Robert Myers is making his way to go and be our next senator heading to Juneau. Senate District D. All right, we got Thomas Lamb, who wanted to understand why I said that he would join the binding caucus. Well, you never denied you were going to join the binding caucus. There's no difference there. When it comes to a Democrat, you don't have to join the binding caucus. You're going to vote with the way our past binding caucuses in Juneau vote anyways. There would be no surprise there. And then we got Dan Mayfield, who is also running as an independent, but he's actually truly just a Democrat. And then we've got David Wilson, the incumbent, who has been running in the race. And then one more, which would have been the write-in, which was Stephen Wright. Stephen Wright, he got a few votes, but nowhere even close to even coming into the running for this race. Thomas Lamb is sitting in second place right now with 1,000 votes. Dan Mayfield is trailing him by a whole 8 votes. So second place is really a toss-up between the 2 Democrats. And then we got David Wilson. I'm calling this race in Senate District D for David Wilson. He has won by a landslide. He has well over 5,775 votes. David Wilson has this one hands down, no questions asked. I'm calling this race, and that's 8 out of 13 precincts that I've reported there. He is so far ahead right now, there's not a snowball chance in hell any of the other component candidates can even win this race, even if they get the majority of those absentee ballots coming in. There's no way they can catch this one. There's not a chance it can be. All right, Senate District F. We've got Gavin Christensen, who you all heard, he was a libertarian that got arrested for killing a person here recently, but he didn't get off the ballot early enough intentionally. He wanted to make this as dirty as possible politics before he did his dumb boner and road rage. All I can say, idiot. Whatever happens to him. Killing somebody is not the way you go about life, and I'll just leave it at that. And then you've got Jim Cooper, the Democrat that was running, and Senator Shelley Hughes, the current incumbent. All right, we'll run this right on down. I don't know how anybody out there could vote for Christensen in the first place, but somehow he managed to get about 350 votes. People, you can tell who do not pay attention to politics that they didn't know this guy is sitting in jail on murder charges. You have to be an idiot to have voted for him. You don't know nothing about politics. God, I hope when I get down to the ranked choice voting, ballot measure number 2, I see an overwhelming votes of no down there. Because if ranked choice voting is the way we're going to vote, Gavin Christensen, who just killed somebody, would have probably won this race. We'll just stop right there. Jim Cooper, the Democrat, second place. He's got 1,472 votes. Then we got Senator Shelley Hughes with 5,545 votes. Senator Shelley Hughes, I'm declaring as the winner of this race. As you'll notice, there hasn't been a single person yet that I've mentioned in this list that I have not declared as a winner. So far, I am not disappointed. This is really rockin' news, but we're only on Senate District F. All right, Senate District H. We have, who is this? Madeline Gazer and Bill Wielkowski. Whoa! God, thank God I am sitting down right now. It is only 6 out of 12 districts, though, so I cannot call this race right at the moment. But Madeline Gazer, the Republican running in the race, has 1,655 votes right at this point. Bill Wielkowski has 1,553. Too many precincts that haven't reported in on Bill Wielkowski's race yet. There's no chance in hell that I can call this one. It's a toss-up. I'm hoping Madeline pulls this one out, but when they're this close and there's that many absentee ballots out there, it's really hard to say what will happen. Plus, only half the precincts have reported so far for Bill Wielkowski's seat. So, we have my first one I can't call. Bill Wielkowski, Senate District H, and Madeline Gazer. I'm sorry if I'm slaughtering your last name. And she's in the lead right now, and it's about 100 votes. So, it's really not that big of a spread. All right. Senate District J. In Senate District J, we've got Tom Begich. And so I am going to declare the winner of Senate District J as Tom Begich. Why in the hell, when we've got these many open seats, did we not have somebody running in these elections against them? There's too many of these I'm going to name off today as declared winners just because they're the only person running in the race. All right, moving on to the next one. District L, Senate District L. Very hot and contentious race going on there. We've got the Republican Imhoff, who family owns the Rasmussen Foundation, who sat on the chair of the Senate Finance Committee that signed off all those hundreds of millions of billions of dollars as the Senate Finance Chair when it came to our state and capital budget, her family, who also she sits on the Financial Chair Board for the Rasmussen Foundation, benefits in hundreds of millions of dollars every year from our state and capital budget, not excluding the hundreds of millions that they received from the CARES Act money this year. And, well, let's put it this way, Senator Natasha von Imhoff has by double digits right now the lead at 4,624. And the Dem candidate that is going against her is Democrat candidate is Rosalind Casey. This would have been one race I wouldn't have been sad to see a Democrat win. Anybody that is sitting there with those kind of conflicts of interest, sitting in our Senate as a finance chair, I have a real big issue with that, and they do not deserve to be in office, let alone if they make it there, sitting in that kind of position that is handing the money over to their family. All right, out of Senate District L, I hate to say it, I'm going to call this race for Senator Natasha von Imhoff. Considering that she's had the Alaska AFL's CIO unions and her family's Rasmussen Nonprofit Foundation that works with all the other nonprofits out there, divvying out all this money to them too. The absentee and the mail-in voting is definitely going to go all to her and not Casey. It's not going to benefit any Democrat in this particular race. Joshua von Imhoff wins that one for the win. All right, Senate District M. We got Andy Hollerman and we got Josh Revak. He is a nominee person that was put in there. He lost, I would say, yep, looks like I'm going to call this one for Josh Revak. Josh Revak has 3,391. Only 7 out of 15 precincts have voted yet so far. And Hollerman is sitting at half of that amount at 1,871 votes. Just going by the trend that I'm seeing here, Revak's at 60% of the vote so far. He's already double what Josh is sitting there, or Andy is sitting there with that 35%. It's going to be hard to beat out the incumbent. I'm going to say Josh Revak again won that seat. That is a pretty solid Republican district. So that one is, even though only 7 out of 15 of the districts have reported, or in that precinct that have reported, I'm going to call it for Josh Revak already. It's done. It's over. All right, we've got Senate District N. Oh, man, do we got a few names here. We got Carolyn C., or Care. Clift, nominee, got about 259 votes. Very nice lady. I met her, talked to her a few times. We got Roger Holland, who I worked avidly towards making sure that I did a lot of promotion for Roger Holland. Especially considering who he unseated. Goodbye, Giesel. And he is sitting there with 3,352 votes at the moment. And then we got the Democrats nominee, Carl Johnson, with 2,494 votes out there. The Democrats of Alaska, the Independents of Alaska have slammed tons of money into this race. They put a lot of their backing, a lot of their financial backing into this race, pushing to get their nominee put into office. From the numbers that I was able to see, Roger Holland had quite a bit less in campaign money to be able to spend on advertising in comparison to Carl. Really glad to see he has the lead. Only 9 out of 17 precincts have voted or have shown all their election results so far. Excuse me. And that's only 52.94% have returned so far. With only a 14-point spread, it's really too hard to call District N. So we've got Bill Wielkowski's race against, and we've got the Roger Holland here. Are the two to be watching in the Senate District so far. We've got Senate District P. We got Greg Madden and Gary Stevens. Man, sad day for Alaska. And we had a write-in which received 11 votes. Sorry to see that. Greg Madden has 1,200 votes. He's the API, whatever API, I don't know. But anyways, he's got only 35% of the vote. And Gary Stevens, the House Rep, a Republican, He's got 2,209 votes, 7 out of 23 precincts. Way too early to call. So now we've got race number 3 that's still up in the air. In the end, I expect to see Gary Stevens win that race. Sad to see that, but yes, he's going to be probably the next one going there. I'm not going to call it, though. Way too many votes still out there to be counted. Senate District R between Bert Stedman and the write-in. Going by even though only 11 out of 24 of the precincts there have turned in their ballots so far to be counted, Bert Stedman pretty much was the only one running in this race. He got 4,396 votes so far out of 11 precincts. There's no doubt, shadow of a doubt in my mind, Bert Stedman has won this race again. Really wish we would have had a better candidate running against him and could have unseated him this year. But, you know, it is what it is. One of those that I just considered, why bother? He won the election. He pretty much only had to cast his name going by how much he's winning by. All right, he didn't even need to show up to vote. Senate District T, we got Donald C. Olson, Democrat, and Thomas C. Baker, Republican. I really wish Thomas Baker had a lot more backing than what he got. He's sitting at about 50% of the vote. 5 out of 56 precincts, though, have reported there. Again, that's only 5 out of 56. So it's a long, long way before we're even going to know if this race has been won or lost. I really do hope Baker pulls this one off. Olson is really, and I can't say really enough times, bad for Alaska. So I hope all of you folks out there in his district voted for Thomas Baker and we can unseat Olson. But with only 5 out of 56 precincts voting in that district that have been released, I can't call this race. I'll just leave it at right where it's at right at the moment. But it's not looking good just out of those 5, and only it's a 50-50 split for how far away they are from votes, 30 to 60%. House District 1, all right. Senate is done. We got basically 4 seats in the Senate. Oh, my sign's tipping over. 4 seats in the Senate that haven't been determined yet of who's won, and so those will probably be up in the air. I will check on those one more time tonight before I get done with this, completing this entire video to you guys, giving this update, and then if it hasn't changed, you're just going to have to wait and see, just right along with the rest of us before that race will be called. All right, House District 1. We got Bart LeBon, Republican, and Christopher Geist, the Democrat. And we got all 9 out of 9 precincts. I'm calling this race for Bart LeBon. Bart LeBon won this race. We really do need, again, I'm going to emphasize this being election night, we really do got to start working on getting candidates out there that are going to work for Alaskans, not keep voting in these rhino Republicans. All right, District 2, Jeremiah A. Humans and Steve M. Thompson. The Thompson, 3 out of 4 precincts there to have already turned in 75% of the vote. Steve Thompson has 71%. I'm going to call this one for Steve Thompson. He has won the race. We've got House District C, no doubt about who won this one. Mike Prax. He's the only candidate in the race. 4,100 votes. I'm calling it for District 3. All right, moving on to House District 4. 5 out of 7 have precincts have already been reported, 71% of the vote. We got Gear Hopkins, the Democrat, and Keith Kerber running in that race. Man, I could almost call this one because there was about a 500 vote spread between Greer and Keith. Greer is the Democrat incumbent. Keith Gruber is trying to unseat him this year. But with a little over a 500 vote spread between the two and only 2 precincts to go, I have a hard time seeing Keith being the one that is going to be able to pull this one off. This one's too much in the favor for the other guy, but I'm going to leave this one uncalled for the moment. So House District 4 is my first district in the House that I am not going to call the race for. House District 5, we got Kevin McKinley, the Republican, against Adam Wool. Don't pull the wool over your eyes. There is a wolf definitely hiding in those clothing. We don't need that wolf in Juneau. Hopefully you brought your ballot rifle with you when you went and voted. And you know, that specially made rifle that is to pull the handle on the ballot box so that it will stamp the right circle. And let's see, where do we stand on this race? 8 out of 9 precincts. This does not count the absentee or mail-in voting. We've got Kevin McKinley is winning by about 150 votes. Can't call this race with only a 4% spread between the two. We still, like I said, got only one precinct left to go right now. If it wasn't for the absentee and mail-in votes, I would call this one for Kevin, hands down, right here and now. That would be a great thing to have happen. Adam Wall has spent one too many years ripping off all of Alaskans, padding the pockets of the special interests out there. He is one representative that is in the House that I would love to see go bye-bye. All right, moving on to House District 6. So that's 2 that I haven't called tonight for the House. We've got Verhagen, Elijah M. Verhagen, who is an actual real live independent, not a Democrat independent. He's undeclared. He falls right down the party lines. I'd call him more of a conservative than I would call him a moderate Democrat. You know what I mean? Then you got, and I liked him. I even gave a toss-up vote for who to vote for on that one. Who is that? Vernon J. Carson, another nominee. Didn't even know he was running in the race. Mike Kronk, who was my second or first favorite because it was a real toss-up between Elijah and Mike. I liked them both. Both great people. If I had to take a choice of who I actually would vote for, and I just won't tell you. You have to figure that one out for yourself. But I do like them both. And he's the Republican in the race. And then Julia A. I'm not even going to try that last name. I'll just say Hanilichika. It's the only time I'm going to say that last name. It's like trying to say my last name. Woo! That's why I never say it to anybody. Anyways, the Democrat in the race, Julia, and there was another undeclared in that one. I won't even go there. All right, Julia got 1,000 votes. I don't see her winning this race. Only 17 out of 33 precincts have voted so far in this precinct, but out of that, just half of the precincts that have voted in on this one, I can see where the trend is going just by the votes, and I won't officially call this one, but I will unofficially. We got Mike Kronk with 2,415 votes, so he's 1,400 votes ahead of Julia, the Democrat. She is the closest lead. The other two that were undeclared or independents, 144 and 381 for Elijah. And Vernon got 144. So when it comes to this race, I'm going to say Mike Kronk unofficially has this race hands down. Mike Kronk will be the new rep heading to Juneau. And Julia will be in second place. So House District 6, I'm going to give that one to Mike unofficially. So I got two that I have not called and one unofficial. House District 7, we got Christopher Kirka. Woo! And I say that, hey, every time you hear me say something like that, that means I was probably campaigning for him unofficially. And we got Jammin L. Burton. Hey, that'll help. That got rid of the glare. All right. We've got 1,000 votes for the nominee in the race. We had a write-in that had a whole 19. And we got Christopher Kirka, who has 4,034 votes. 6 out of 7 precincts have already turned in on this one. I'm calling this race for Kirka. House District 7, Christopher Kirka has taken the seat. Woo! Way to go, Christopher Kirka. All right, House District 8. Oh, this one goes right to my heart because this is my district. House District 8, only 2 out of the 6 precincts have voted. If you saw my videos earlier today of me going to vote, the line had over 100 people standing in line to go and vote. I recognized almost everybody that was there. That should tell you something already, what direction the vote went. And even though only 2 out of the 6 precincts that you could go and vote at for this area have turned in their ballots so far, you got Alma N. Hartley, which was the Democrat, and then you got Kevin McCabe, which is the Republican. And Hartley has 472, and Kevin McCabe has 2,306. Even though only 2 out of the 6 have turned in their ballots, and we got absentee and mail-ins to go, I'm calling this race for Kevin McCabe. There's no doubt in my mind who won this race. This area out here, like I said, I recognized almost everybody that was standing in line when I went to go and vote. And so 2,306 votes compared to 500 votes. Kevin McCabe has District 8. He's another House representative going to Juneau. I'm calling that race right here and now. House District 9. George Rauscher against Bill Johnson. We really do need good candidates to beat them out in the primaries. I thought we had it this year. I was really, really, really rooting for in the primaries was not Rauscher. I was going for the other guy. Maybe next year we'll see what happens. But Rauscher currently has this race at 1,369 votes for him. Bill Johnson, the Democrat nominee, the one that got the pat on the back from ex-Governor Bill Walker, I give you my endorsement to win, has a whole 475 votes. So poor old Bill Johnson is 3 times the votes behind George Rauscher right at the moment. There are 7 out of 11 precincts there that have already turned in their ballots. So I'm going to go ahead and call this one for George Rauscher. Just going with the trend of the area that he lives in, highly Republican, red district. Rauscher's going to pull this one off without a shadow of a doubt. So I'm calling House District 9 right now. Rauscher has won that race. It would be a miracle if it ever goes a different direction. House District 10. Oh, another one that is so close to my heart. We got David Eastman, even though I didn't get the vote in his election. We got David Eastman and Monica L. Stein Olson. The Democrat, David Eastman, the Republican incumbent racing in that race. How many? 8 out of 11 precincts have voted or already turned in all of their totals. David Eastman has 3,804 votes, and Monica Stein Olson has 945. I'm calling District 10. Congratulations. Woo! David Eastman, he is going back to Juneau as representative for District 10. Great job getting out there and voting, folks. That is a hell of a turnout for only 8 precincts and having 4,000 votes for him. All right, House District 11. Andrea Hackbarth and Delana Johnson. Andrea is the Democrat. Delana Johnson is the Republican. I'm not surprised by the results I see in this race. 6 out of 9 precincts have already turned in their ballots. Andrea has 1,099, and Delana Johnson has 3,968. I'm calling this race also for House District 11. Delana Johnson has won that race. Congratulations, Delana Johnson. All right, House District 12, Kathy L. Tilton, calling the race. She's won. There's no shadow of a doubt. There's no doubt whatsoever. She didn't have nobody running against her. They couldn't find a Democrat that was worth their grain of salt in that district to take Kathy Tilton out. That's the reason why they didn't run anybody there. Kathy Tilton, congratulations. Keep up the good work you've been doing in the last few years in Juneau. Keep giving those, trying to reduce that budget. Keep fighting the good fight. Don't back down like I seen you do the last couple of years. The only warning I'll give, I am not being Mr. Nice Guy. I don't care what party you're in anymore. I'm going after all of you, Democrat and Republicans. But Kathy Tilton, you have done a phenomenal job out there, in my opinion. I know the last couple of years have been tough. Get out there, give us a good fight. I guarantee you, we have put the Republican Party in control of Juneau this year. Don't let the rhinos and the Democrats take control. All right, moving on to the next one, just cause. We got House District 13. We got James Cantes and Ken McCarthy. I'm calling Ken McCarthy, Republican, James, Democrat, 5 out of 6 precincts. I'm calling this one for Ken McCarthy. Declared winner, 2,088 votes to 606. Hands down, Ken McCarthy took this race. Congratulations, Ken. Can't wait to see you down in Juneau. All right, House District 14. We've got the Democrat Michael W. Mike Reisinger and Kelly R. Merrick. No surprise by this one there. 5 out of 7 precincts already have turned in. Got 1,985 votes for Kelly and 409 for Mike. Kelly Merrick, way to go. Congratulations to your second term down in Juneau. Keep up with the good work. Appreciate it. You're one of those that kind of surprised me considering your union ties. Alaska AFL-CIO, usually when we get someone that is related to them, we get a very, very, very far left rhino there. I still say that now that we've given you a real Republican legislators going down to Juneau, I hope to see much better from you. A lot better. I'll just leave it at that. But congratulations, Kelly Merrick. Good job. Glad to see you going back to Juneau. The alternative was not who I wanted there. Not by far. All right, we got House District 15. We got Lynn D. Franks, a Democrat, and David Nelson. 3 out of 5 precincts. David Nelson has the win right now. He's got 1,000 votes to 700 votes. 300 point spread, vote spread. 2 more precincts still to come in. Tough one to call. All right, House District 15, I am not going to call it. But unofficially, I'm going to say David Needs has won this race. But officially, I can't call the race. There's just too much of a spread in between there. Votes are still too close. Not knowing what precincts haven't yet reported in, it's hard to say that could really change. And the absentee and mail-in ballots that have yet to be counted. All right, House District 16. We got Scott Cohen-Haas. Well, I think I'm right on that one. Scott Cohen-Haas, undeclared. We got Paul Bear, the Republican, and we got Ivy A. Spanonholtz. 3 out of 7 precincts so far. God, I wish there was more precincts already reported on this race. And right now, Paul Bear has the lead by about 103 votes. Poison Ivy is behind he's only 612, 103 votes behind them. And Scott Cohen-Haas, 129 votes. So Scott, you're out of the race. I'm sorry to see you go. It's between Paul Bear and Poison Ivy Spanonholtz. Too far, not enough precincts. Very well-connected far-left Democrat there that will take definitely advantage of the mail-in voting, that is absentee voting, that is yet to be counted. I can't call that race. I won't even give an undeclared official on that one. So House District 16 is way up in the air. So I think that makes 3 that I have not called and 3 that I have unofficially gave them their blessings, even though they're still far off from actually winning. All right, House District 17, that no doubt about it, Andrew Jofferson has won that, only person in the race to begin with, 1,199 votes, and 172 for the write-in. So whoever was the write-in against Andy Jofferson, man, if I would have only known about your race and someone had told me about it, I would have been promoting your name out there, to tell you, to be honest, the truth, because the alternative who's there right now, I would have loved to unseated them. I can't believe nobody ran an official race against them. All right, House District 18, same problem. Nobody running against them. Whoever the write-in wasn't on that race. I wish you would have told me. I would have campaigned for you. Because Harriet Drummond is going back to Juneau. Sorry, guys. Really, really sorry for you out there in District 18. I really wish you could have found somebody. House District 19. We got the same problem again. Why? Why do we have these races with nobody running against them? Oh, God, I am so ashamed to call myself an Alaskan sometimes. We got Garantar won this race, also had a write-in. Come on, folks, write-ins. Remember me, Politadick. I'll promote you. You're worthwhile. You're someone worth putting in. I will say your name on my page a couple times. I did it for people that had absolutely no chance. Those who thought they didn't have a chance and still put their name in. Those that never even reached out to me, but I knew who they were. If I don't know who you are, I can't help you. Oh, so Garantar, congratulations. Glad to see you going to Juneau. All right, House District 20. What is it with these Democrat seats not having Republicans running against them? Sad to say, Zach Fields is going back to Juneau. Only one there. Again, another write-in. Didn't know nothing about you. 1,746 votes went to Zach, being the only one really running in the race. The write-in had 240. Man, if the write-in got 240, all I can say is with some good promotion out there, you probably could have beat out Zach. He's not well liked. All right. The race that was House District 21 against Matt Clayman and Lynette Largent. Lynette did not run any real sort of campaign whatsoever. She ran a zero budget campaign. I'm sure that if we would have got a lot more active and promoting and making sure that your name was out there, we would have done a lot better in this race. 6 out of 8 precincts have voted so far. Again, this does not include the absentee mail-in ballots, and I'm bringing this up just because this race is pretty close. Matt Clayman, the Democrat, has 1,516, and Lynette Largent, who didn't really run a campaign at all, 1,374 votes. We're talking about 130 vote spread right now. Too close to call. I'm rooting for you, Lynette. I really am. Come on, Lynette. If you would have had something worth sharing on your Facebook page, I would have been sharing it. But it's hard to share other people's posts. Just doesn't tell me who you are. Oh. That being said, though, I think Lynette Largent would make a great person to go down to Juneau. I'm not calling that race. I hope Matt Clayman, the person that says he's the follow the law kind of guy, but votes to steal our PFD every year and undermine the statutory PFD law and the education laws that we have for paying and funding and all that other good stuff. Someone like him, I would have seen someone else win, but still too early to call. District 22. House District 22. We've got Representative Sarah Rasmussen, a Republican. We've got incumbent. We got David Nees, an undeclared, and we got Stephen Trimble, who's kind of like a Democrat input. So is. And at this point, 5 out of 7 precincts. Sarah Rasmussen, I am happy to say I see you heading to Juneau. Congratulations. I'm calling that race won. Sarah Rasmussen going to Juneau. Congratulations. All right, we are over halfway through these things right now. House District 23. We got Kathy Hensley and Timothy Hewitt and Chris Tuck. Chris Tuck, the incumbent Democrat. Timothy Hewitt, I am not sure who you are. I've never heard your name probably until tonight, so you haven't made it across my streams very much. And Kathy Hensley. Kathy Hensley has 2,136 votes. Chris Tuck comes in second at 1,587. Woo! Yeah. And then Timothy is sitting with just over 400 votes. So far, I'm going to give this one to Kathy. 6 out of 8 votes, or 6 out of 8 precincts reporting. 600 and some vote lead with that. I'm going to say at this point, oh, no, wait, that's 8 out of 8. So, yep, nope, I'm calling that one for Kathy. Kathy, congratulations. Going to be nice seeing you heading to Juneau. About time Chris Tuck got unseated. Way to go, Kathy. Woo! One less PFD thief heading to Juneau. Kathy, I hope you're not one. All right, follow the laws. Follow the laws. So that's all I'll say right there. All right, we go on to the next race. We got House District 24. We got Sue Levi and Tom McKay, Republican, and Sue Levi is the Democrat. House District 24, 3 out of 7 precincts. Still too early to call, but looking at the votes that are sitting there right now, Tom McKay has 1,920 and Sue Levi has 1,094. That's almost 2 to 1, 60% to 30% of the vote. I'm going to give that one to Tom McKay. Way to go, Tom McKay. Woo! I know you're going to be a good guy to head down to Juneau. Going to be nice seeing you down there. I know your stance on the PFD. Going to be nice to have another supporter of follow the laws. Reduce that budget. Bring us back under control again. All right, House District 26, Laddie Shaw. Laddie Shaw? Laddie Shaw. House District 26, congratulations, Laddie Shaw. Be good to see you getting back down to Juneau. Woo! Love that rockin' mustache and love to borrow your motorcycle one of these days. Anyways. All right, Lance Pruitt against Liz Snyder. Lance Pruitt, the Republican. Liz Snyder, the Democrat. I'm surprised she doesn't have doctor in front of her name. The Dirt Doctor against Lance Pruitt. 4 out of 8 precincts. I can't call this one. I know the Democrats have been campaigning left and right, door knocking. Spending tons and tons of money on this race, trying to make sure the Dirt Doctor makes it to Juneau. 1,000 votes for Liz and 1,330 for Lance. Too close to count with only half of the precincts reporting in on that race so far. I'm going to still give it to Lance, undeclared. Unofficially, I'm going to say Lance has won that race. When are the Democrats and the Rhinos and Independents up here going to learn no matter how much money you stick into it? We find out you're a Rhino, you're not making it back. we find out that you're not a follow the law type person for a Democrat, we're going to do our best to unseat you. If a Democrat that will follow the law or a Republican, I don't care, either or, just someone that's going to start following the laws. I'm tired of the lawbreaker incumbents going down to Juneau. All right, House District 28. The Campaign of Lies District. Man, there were so many lies being pushed in this one as the Democrat trying to pretend they're a conservative. House Assembly, or sat on the Assembly in Anchorage, passed every far-left liberal ordinance you could ever pass for, illegally voted to spend the CARES Act money that was given to them, showing campaign ads standing between Senator Dan Sullivan and Congressman Don Young, putting herself right in the center, trying to pretend that she's a Republican. Well, I'm glad Alaskans are not that dumb. God, George. Anyways, all right, Susan M. LaFrance, the Democrat. We've got Benjamin R. Fletcher and James Kaufman. Woo! All right, James Kaufman is in the lead right now with 2,004 votes. Susan LaFrance is sitting with 1,585, so only about a 400 vote spread going in between the two of them right at the moment. 5 out of 9 precincts. Too early to call. This is one of those precincts that ballot harvesting, absentee mail-in ballots, is going to have a big play in it. Plus, there's too many precincts. We got 4 more precincts that's still yet to vote. Going by the trend I'm seeing so far, James Kaufman, I'm going to declare unofficially, has won that race. I personally, and I know way many two other people out there that worked really hard to make sure he gets to Juneau. I hope to see that happens. So unofficially, House District 28, James Kaufman. And if you saw my post, what I have written on the top of my post up on top earlier, I made a prediction of what tonight's election results were going to be. I nailed it 100%. Woo! Maybe they should start paying me to be their polling experts to give prediction on races. I'm pretty darn good at it. Especially if you saw the spread or see the spreadsheet that I have set up for all the candidates running this year and who was going to make it and where the contentious races really were at. All right, moving on to the next one, House District 29. We got Benjamin Carpenter, rep, the Republic Rhino, going to the been in Juneau, and Paul Dell. Paul Dell pulled out 450 votes. Benjamin Carpenter got 1,355. 4 out of 11 precincts. Way too early to call. But Benjamin Carpenter, I'm going to unofficially call this one for you right here and now. I know your district. I know how it's going to trend vote-wise. Congratulations, Benjamin Carpenter. Welcome to Juneau again. I don't have much to say for someone. I wish someone would just not be going to Juneau. Yeah. All right, House District 30. We got Ronald D. Gillum, and we got James Baston. Gillum has 1,000 votes. James Baston has 500 votes. 3 out of 6 precincts, only 50% of the district has voted so far. We worked hard for Ron Gillum. Woo! So Ron Gillum is sitting with at least 50% of the vote, more than what his runner-up has. 500 vote lead here in this race, but only 3 out of 6 districts. Officially won this race. I'm calling it right here for Ron Gillum. I could be wrong on this race, but I'm going to say Ron Gillum has it, and even though it's got such a big spread, still yet to be counted for that race. All right, House District 31. We have Sarah Vance and Kelly Cooper. Sarah Vance has 2,000 vote lead, Republican. And Kelly Cooper has 768, 5 out of 9 precincts. Sarah Vance, welcome back to Juneau again. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good fight. Keep voting no on those state and capital budgets and that are stealing our permanent fund dividend. Really do appreciate you down there. I'm glad to see you going back to Juneau. Good job, Sarah Vance. Way to campaign out there. House District 33. Oh, by the way, that means I'm calling the race for Sarah Vance. House District 32. Louise Stutz against Louise Stutz. 2 out of 14 precincts. She, of course, has the majority of all the votes. House District 33, Sarah Hannon, Democrat. Why are all these Democrats? I mean, every time it seems I go and look at a race and it's someone going down to Juneau, it's a Democrat. Louise Stutz, you're a Democrat. You're not fooling anybody. So you didn't have nobody running against you. Real shame. Tisk, tisk. Sarah Hanna, you didn't have anybody running against you. Real shame. Tisk, tisk. Come on, Alaskans. We can't let this keep happening. This is why we've got such bad shape in the first place, is sending the same crooks back to Juneau again. All right, House District 24. We got Andy Story, the Democrat, and we've got Ed King. I'm not a big fan of either one of them. They both sound like I'm talking to the same type of person, other than Ed King is a very moderate conservative, if you want to call him that. I would say a moderate Democrat would probably be a closer description. And then you got the outright far left Democrat, Andy Story, and he is just not what I would, or she is just not what I would classify as a great choice. But currently, with 7 out of 7 precincts already been reporting, congratulations, Andy Story, to another term down in Juneau. All right. House District 35, we got Jonathan Crest Tompkins against Kenny Skullfisted. Boy, I'm sorry if I just slaughtered your name. 4 out of 14 districts. Kenny is the Republican. Johansson Crest Tompkin is the incumbent Democrat. Jonathan is sitting with just about 500 votes, and Kenny has 687. Only 4 out of 14 precincts have reported so far. Way too early to call it. Crossing my fingers for you, Kenny. You can do it. Pull this one off. House District 36, Dan Ortiz, and then we got Leslie Becker. 7 out of 10 precincts. Leslie is the Republican. Dan Ortiz, of course, is the Democrat. Even though he doesn't call himself a Democrat, he is a Democrat. Dan has 2,343 votes. Leslie has 1,841. They did a huge smear campaign on this one. They threw in tons of money into making sure Dan got reelected. Tisk, tisk. I wish Alaskans would wake up and see who the lawbreakers are and those that actually want to work for all Alaskans. The special interests got to quit winning. That's all I can say. Lots of money thrown in from Alaska AFL-CIO this year, trying to get people elected, and they were always for the Democrat Party. That should tell you something when the unions would prefer Democrats being in office than Republicans. Republicans, capitalism. Democrats, socialism, tax you. Think it would be common sense, but it just doesn't work out that way. All right, House District 37. Bryce Edgman going back to Juneau. Shame. Someone should have ran against him. I can't believe no one did. He's as bad as Kathy Giesel. All right. Oh, man. House District 38. What's going on in Bethel? What's the problem in the Bethel region? 0 out of 31 precincts reporting. 0. 0 out of 31. Is your COVID down in the lower Kuskokwim region? I think I got the right area there. The COVID crisis got you to where you scared everybody to where they didn't vote. They did all absentee ballots. They stayed at home. Too scared to go to the voting booth. Is that what the problem is? Is it? Is it? Is it? Anyways, you got Willie Keppel, who is basically the Republican. He's an independent, but he is a Republican. Many long conversations with Willie. I really do like Willie. I hope he wins. Tiffany Lewinsky, Democrat incumbent. I'm hoping for you, Willie. 0 precincts out of 31 in your district have reported. 0. Nada. Nothing. I hope you win, Willie. Come on, I'm rooting for you. Go, Willie. All right, House District 39. 4 out of 33 precincts reporting. We got Neil Foster. Ooh. And Dan Holmes, Republican. Neil Foster, with just only 4 out of 33 precincts, has 480 votes. Dan Holmes has 198. I'm rooting for you, Dan. I really am. Can't call the race, but I'm rooting for you. And there was a write-in there that has 121 votes so far out of 4 precincts. So I really hope someone else wins besides Neil. But right now it's trending his direction. All right, we got House District 40. Oh, thank you. We're in the last of the houses. House District 40, we got Elizabeth Fargenson, Democrat, 23 votes, 1 out of 23 precincts reporting. And then we got Joshua Politadick. I'm sorry, I know I probably just slaughtered your last name. It's like trying to say mine. If someone doesn't say it to you, you just can't do it right. But I hope I pronounced it right. Anyway, 68 votes, double the votes, only 1 out of 23 precincts reporting at the moment. Anybody's guess what's going to happen there. Supreme Court, Carney, so far, 20,000 votes in the yes, 42 in the no. Shame on you, Alaskans. PFD thief, sex registry, man, one of the worst judges. And you want to keep these far left judges in place that would rather rule based on feelings and how they think the law should be written instead of following the law. Wonder why Alaska keeps getting bad. When our legislators can't pass something in Juneau, they send it to the court system, and the court system always rules to the feelings. Haven't you learned that yet? Ballot measure 1, ballot measure 2. Oh man, especially with ballot measure 2. This is our judges. This is what we get with our far left-leaning judges. All right, Court of Appeals. Yes for Wollenberg, 61,000 to 39,000 no's. I will admit, though, Alaskans were listening. I have not seen this many no's on all the judges in all of my life. All right, moving on down. Superior Court, 524 yes, 290 no, or 260 no for Di Benedetto. Sorry. Rothman, 528 yes, 245 no. Superior Court, Crosby, 36,175 yes, 28,466 no. Wow, pretty close spread there. 124 out of 339 districts, though. What about Kearney there? I've got to check that one. Only half the districts have voted in the Kearney, so I'm not calling any judge at the moment. Excuse me. Udy, 34,000 yes, 29,000 no. Henderson, 36 yes, 27,000 no. The Morex, 35 yes, 28,000 no. Miller, 34 to 29,000. Ray, Superior Court, probably said that wrong. 35,000 to 25,000. That's yes and no. Wells, 36,000 yes, 27,000 no. Woodman, 35,000 yes, 27,000 no. Dickerson, 37,000 yes, 27,500 no. Francisco, 36,000 yes, 27,500 no. Hanley, same results. Lugu, same results. McCrae, same results. Wallace, same thing. Washington, same thing. Looking at these votes, I'm going to say that people were just going off of their own list. All right, we got into the Superior Court, though. Wow, big change in numbers there. Well, that's only because only a quarter of the districts, or 1/3 of the districts have voted so far. But 14,000 yes, 7,000 no. So basically they went right down the list and they just voted yes or no all the way down the ticket. So those that voted yes all the way down. Those that voted no all the way down. Very obvious by the numbers that I'm seeing here. Carney's the only one that's got the big swing. Christensen, 14,000 to 7,000. Montgomery, 14 to 7. Ballot measure number 1, big critical one. 69,000 no. Woo! 41,000 yes. Woo! Yay! I'm yaying because it's less than the no's. So far, ballot measure 1 is a no. Good job. Ballot measure number 2. Oh, man, scary there. 61,000 no, 49,000 yes. Most corrupt way of voting ever turned into existence. I can't believe the multi-millions upon millions of, say, roughly $10 million of outside money that poured into that ballot measure number 2. And the opposition had only about 500,000 to right about $1 million, all locally contributed, and over 70%, I think it was around 80% of the money that was contributed to that was all in-state money, versus their $10 million of outside money trying to change the way we vote in our elections. Good job so far, everybody that voted no on 2. It's only half the precincts, though, that have reported on that. So keep up the good work. I hope we got a definite no on 2. All right, that has ran through completely through the entire list that is there. Bear with me. I'm going to do a quick refresh. I'm going to hop back in. I am just going to scan the document now and see if anything has dramatically changed in the way things have voted. Trump's still winning. Sullivan still won. Young still won. Meyer still wins. Wilson still wins. Shelley Hughes still wins. Bill Wielikoski is still losing in District H. I'm still not going to call that race, but looking good. Way to go, Madeline. I hope you still win. District J, Begage all by himself. He won. Natasha von Imhoff, boo. She's won. Andy Hollerman against Josh Revak, double digits now. All districts reported. Josh Revak's won hands down. 16 out of 7. Roger Holland, congratulations, Roger Holland. Going to be glad to see you heading down to Juneau. Way to go. District F, Gary Stevens. I'm gonna still way too many precincts to go, but he's got double the vote right now. 1,000 vote lead out of a 2,200 for him and 1,200 for the other guy. Bert Stedman all by himself. Goodbye. Going to Juneau. Olson against Baker. Come on, Baker. 7 out of 56. Way too early to call. House District 1. LeBon going to Juneau. District 2. We've got Thompson going to Juneau. Excuse me. Getting very dry voice talking here. Fireplace been going all day. Maya in my house. Let's get some water boiling, get some moisture going on in here. All right, Mike Prax going to Juneau. Congratulations. Hopkins, Greer. Still too early to call. Still, but looks like Hopkins may pull that one off. Goodbye, Wool. I am hoping. Still too early to call because of absentee and mail-in ballots, but I'm going to say Kevin McKinley has took out Wool. Unofficial for that one still. Mike Cronk looks like he has taken House District 6. District 7, Kirka. Way to go, Kirka. See you in Juneau. House District 8, hands down, Kevin McCabe. House District 9, Rauscher. House District 10, David Eastman. House District 11, Delana Johnson. House District 12, Kathy Tilton. 13, Ken McCarthy, going to Juneau. Kelly Merrick going to Juneau for District 14. District 15, David Nelson going to Juneau. Woo! Way to go! Keep it going. 6 out of 7. District 16. Poison Ivy is behind by 310 votes, looks like. Behind Paul Bear. Come on, Paul. You can pull it off. I hope you win. Unofficially, I'm giving it to you, Paul. And but it's still too close to call. House District 17, Andy Josephson. Congratulations. Going to Juneau. Harriet Drummond going to Juneau for District 18. District 19, Guarantere going back to Juneau. Boo. District 20, Zach Fields going to Juneau. Boo. House District 21, Lynette Largette is trailing by less than 40 votes. One more precinct still to turn in. Too early to call. Come on, Lynette. Said it earlier. Matt doesn't need to go back to Juneau. I want someone that's going to work for the people of Alaska, not the special interest. Guy thinks he's on the follow the laws guy. Can't do that. Breaks the laws. All right. House District 22. Final vote. Sarah Rasmussen is going to Juneau. Congrats. District 23. Final votes. Kathy Hensley going to Juneau. Woo! Tom McKay's got this hands down. Double digits now to try to catch up. All precincts reported. Thomas McKay. Woo! District 24. District 25. We've got Mel Gillis. Mel Gillis, it looks like he has won this one. Woo! Laddie Shaw going back to Juneau. Woo! Lance Pruitt going to Juneau. District 27. District 28. Kaufman. Yes! Oh, man. As my throat got itchy at the moment. Oh. Benjamin Carpenter going to Juneau. District 30. We got Gillum going to Juneau. 31. Sarah Vance. Woo! 32, Louise Stutz. Boo. House District 33, Sarah Hanna going to Juneau. Boo. District 34. Andy Stories got the win. Going to Juneau. Boo. District 35. Chris Thompson against Stolfested. Still only 4 out of 14. Kenny's got the lead. Stolfenson. Not by much, though, but he's got the lead. District 36, we got Dan Ortez going to Juneau. District 37, Bryce Edgman running all by himself. Boo. All right, one precinct finally in Bethel. Get your act together there in Bethel region. Willie Keppel is behind by 30 votes against Tiffany Lewinsky. Come on, Willie! All right, District 39, Neil Foster against Dan Holmes. Neil Foster, 6 out of 33 precincts, but he's only got a 300 lead. Too early to call. Last district, District 40. Ferguson against Joshua Bokatuk. I could probably still got it wrong, but I'm trying. House District 40. One precinct finally voted in. What's going on with you guys out there? Let's get your act together. Let's get those precincts turned in. And Kearney, the only one I'm keeping real interest on. Still 69,000 yes, 50,000 no. 243 out of 441. Still about 200 precincts yet to go. Too early to call. All right. There we go. I think I finally got that itch. All right. I'm done. Thank you all for tuning in for Election Central here with Politadick. I appreciate you guys all tuning in. Don't forget to go to my website, politadick.com. Click that donate button. Donate a few bucks. It helps pays the bill, keeps the light on, make sure I've got unlimited internet, the gas money to be able to afford to make it to the different events, town halls, assembly meetings, live streaming what they have going on in Juneau when they've got the big stuff happening, making sure that you have first-hand ability to be able to see what's going on while you're at work, because they do not like making that stuff easy and accessible for you to be able to watch when it's happening. So, hope you guys all had a great update here with Election Central. It is late. I need to go to bed. It's after midnight. Hope you guys all have a great evening or a good morning, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.